Welcome,
Oh my
everyone.
God. Nice to
My,
see you,
it's so
Paramo.
lovely for you to be here. Vasily, the king of Carnival, is with us for this very, very special and unique edition of Hotel Talk.
Carnival edition.
Carnival edition.
Carnival craziness, Paramo.
I love it.
We're all over the place.
Vasily, it's the first time I've ever dressed up for a Hotel Talk. I love it.
You're looking
Podcast.
fabulous. Fabulous.
Darling.
That you're a star.
Fabulous.
Literally.
Oh my goodness, look who's talking. Vasilis Papavasiliou is with us today. He is the king of Carnival. And for those of you who don't know, Limassol is the place to be in February for 10 fabulous days. We are second, as per CNN and other major news broadcasts around the world, second only to Rio in terms of Carnival. So this really is fabulous.
Exactly. I mean, the amount of activities
It's unbelievable.
and
10
events,
days.
unbelievable.
And this is all the prelude for those that don't know, for the fasting period that happens in Cyprus. So we have 10 days of carnival, mayhem, madness. The streets are full of people in fancy dress, or restaurants or bars. Everybody's wearing fun clothes, whether they make them themselves or buy them. And it's just all about love and laughter and creativity.
And I mean, this year started on 20th of February, right? It was Signal Empty. And it's the day where everybody just does barbecue and eats meat. Because you know what?
My worst day of the year.
Your worst day, the nightmare. And it has a history behind it, actually. Because this was a day where everybody had to eat. It's called sigozes because they had to eat anything that they had in their fridge that was leftovers, meat and stuff, because after that it's fasting period for Easter.
So we basically have a 10-day period, which is like a soft landing into fasting. So you should really stop eating meat, but you still have a little bit of the dairy, I think, and other things before Green Monday, Catedral Deftera, where you go vegan. Yay! That's what I love. My best day of the year. So let's talk a little bit about Carnival and being the king of Limassol Carnival.
Where shall we start, Faramo?
Well, let's start by telling everyone what exactly is it? What is it? What does it entail? And how do you get to become the king or queen?
So let me just start by saying that this year's theme is Hartobolemos confetti. So we wanted color everywhere. We wanted to bring back that fun,
playful, joyful, naive.
So I hope we did a good job, and we're still doing a good job.
It's fantastic. And the kids' parade was beautiful. It was so well organized, despite it being quite unusually cold for this time of year. But it was so much fun. My kids enjoyed
at least it wasn't raining.
Yes.
But it was nice. It was really nice. I mean, hopefully our big parade on this. Yeah.
So how do you get to become king of Carnival?
So,
what happens? What's the process?
What's the process? To be a carnival king, you have to be an active carnival. You have to be in the carnival. You have to love carnival. You have to, from a young age, participate in the parades, be creative, and that's what I've been doing. And well, I was hoping to be a carnival king sometime in my life. It wasn't my mission, to be honest. I was like, it would be nice to be a carnival king.
But it was there in the back of your mind.
It was in the back of my mind.
I can imagine myself doing that.
Yeah. And of course, I always wanted to be a king, but it wasn't like, I have to be now. And I think this year, it was something special because I didn't expect it. And they were like, they asked me, how would you feel?
So then there's a committee, isn't there, that organizes?
Yeah. And ultimately, when they decide, they're like, okay.
Oh, well, congratulations.
And I'm the youngest carnival king ever.
I was going to say that,
so
for sure.
That's another breakthrough in the tradition. The second youngest was Dimitris, which he was the king of fire 2 years ago. So
yay! Well, congratulations, and you're doing a great job. And I love your outfit. Tell us about your outfit, the inspiration that came with it.
So the inspiration. Well, first of all, when you sit in front of the designer and you have to decide a theme, they have to know you. They know me. So I started talking and I told them, guys, you know what? I don't want something traditional. I don't want diamonds. I want something fun, funky, like me. I want color.
And
I love
comfortable,
color.
because to be honest, it looks comfortable.
It
It's
is
not,
comfortable.
there are some outfits that you're like, oh, how are they sitting down in that?
No,
Or
no,
how,
no.
yeah.
It is really
Yeah.
comfortable, and I think it's me, to be
Yeah. It's
honest.
just happy.
Yeah.
It's happy and
Yeah,
fabulous.
and we came up with this. We started drawing. I showed them a couple of ideas that I
Yeah.
had, and
Yeah, here we are.
Christos
Hey, presto.
Othonos and his team, Lieni, did a very good job, to
Really,
be
they
honest.
did.
Yes, and our carnival float is I don't know. You saw the float, right?
I've
The one that
seen
was
it
in the
on
parade,
Insta. Yeah.
and in the children's parade.
I know, but I was back.
I saw
Yeah.
the picture.
Yeah.
So we did another good job on that one because I told them, you know what? I don't want to be just standing in the middle of the float because I'm a guy of movement. I want to go up
Yeah.
and down. So we incorporated that. We even went back to tradition where things are moving on the float. So there's a head moving and there are hands moving. So there's movement.
Yeah.
So that was another one of the criteria to have movement, not only in the carnival float, but also in the outfit.
That's brilliant. Oh my goodness. I love that. I love that. So, can you share like some of the fun things that happen during Carnival for those who don't know what they should be looking out for in general?
So you mean about the events? So we
Yeah, about
have
the
the
events. Yeah.
Pelomasca events. One was on Tuesday. So
Hmm.
what is Pelomasca? Pelomasca is when you wear it's a tradition.
Yeah.
Wear whatever you have. It doesn't have to match. It's like mix and match, and then you can even cover your face so people won't recognize you. And it's like a game. This,
In
yeah,
translated, it means like crazy mask,
yeah,
basically.
crazy
Yeah. Yeah.
outfits. So that's another thing. And we had a number of interesting outfits on Tuesday. We're gonna have one tonight also. It's gonna be located at the Castle Square,
Yeah.
Limassol Castle
Where
Square,
a lot
of
happens.
course. And there's gonna be another one on Sunday, during the night, which we will finish Carnival this Sunday at the Old Port.
I love it. I
Yeah,
love
yeah,
it. So, let's talk a bit about how Carnival impacts the local community. I know that you've been, my goodness, like crazy, crazy schedule. You were telling me you left your house at 8 and came back at 1 in the morning
yeah,
yesterday.
yeah,
You know, you're doing interviews with the national television stations, you're at schools, you're seeing different organizations, you're doing so much, as well as attending all the parties and organizing.
yeah, yeah.
But tell us a bit about, in general, how Carnival impacts the community from young to old.
Well, let me just start with this. So we made some innovative ideas this year. For example, we created a one of my outfits for this year was made out of recyclable materials,
Ah,
which was
lovely.
from newspapers, magazines, and we made a lovely outfit, and we're using that outfit um, in schools. So we're teaching the younger generation
Mhm.
about recycling,
Yeah,
sustainability, but also um, on the fact that they can create their own outfits. This is where creativity comes in from materials that you can find in your house.
yeah, yeah. It's not about
And we're
money,
having
it's not about
workshops also.
competitions.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah, and that's an innovative fact. So back to your question also
yeah.
about, sorry,
About the local
the
community,
local
like how it
community.
impacts and
So
how
that's
it brings
yeah.
Limassolians together.
So,
Actually, everyone in Cyprus, doesn't it?
yeah,
Because everyone
everyone in
comes.
Cyprus. All roads lead to Limassol in Carnival. Uh, so,
I love it.
so that was the number one about the educational factor, the sustainability. Um, Economical factors, all of the
Of
hotels, all of
course.
the restaurants, all of the bars are full during these 2 weeks. And I mean,
Yeah.
what is there to say? The love that comes in. I mean, people come from all over the cities, and then we have the tourists coming in for Carnival. So
It is
we're having
amazing.
seamstresses, um, designers,
Suppliers,
suppliers.
you know, whether it's yeah, drinks, food, obviously the bars, the shops, people are
Everybody's
around. The
working for
cities are
these two
yeah,
weeks,
coffee
but
shops.
the amount of work that happens before
I
that, I
know.
mean,
Well, let's talk about that. How long does it take to prepare for Carnival and
well, it
what goes
depends.
into
It
it?
depends because every year the carnival is shifts.
Hmm.
I think if I'm not mistaken, next year it's even earlier.
Yeah, well, it
Yeah, I think
changes.
it's
I mean,
yeah. Next year it's
we
one
have
week earlier.
five weeks difference. So
Yeah.
The most it can
Yeah.
be is a whole 5 weeks,
Last
like you
year
said.
was 1.5 or 2 weeks
Yeah,
later.
yeah,
This year was 20th of February, and I think next year is 1 week earlier. So
yeah,
you can see. So preparations start depending on where
yes,
Tignobemti begins, according to calendar.
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, the ideas usually start before Christmas,
Oh
way,
my
way
goodness,
before
yeah. So at least
Christmas.
2 months,
No,
yeah, even
more
before
than
three,
that. But
four.
I mean, um, it's magical. And for me, as soon as Christmas and all the celebrations for that finish,
You have something to look forward to.
you have something to look forward to. But also, I love it when you're in Limassol and you start hearing people in cafes and in bars. What are you gonna wear? Which
Yeah.
group are you gonna go in? Have the group names spin out. They're showing each other pictures, and then they're gonna discuss. Did you start creating your Belomaska crazy outfit? So it's this passion, this energy going
Yeah.
on.
It brings the community together.
Yeah.
There are so many different I think floats, armas in the
Yeah, it's
they're like
about more than 100.
more than
It's like,
100 different yeah,
yeah,
groups where they're with different costumes, different things every year, guys. It's just color and amazing. It's so much fun.
the
I'm
parade starts at 1 o'clock this
Yeah, the main
this
parade.
Sunday, yeah, 2nd of March, and it's gonna end about 6 o'clock in the
Yeah.
afternoon, I believe.
It's
Wow,
it's fun. I
wow,
always laugh because I'm always doing it. One year I
it's a
was with my
marathon.
friend, and I was like, "Oh, we'll go up and we'll leave the car there and we'll walk down."
Yeah,
And then when we were walking down without dancing, we were like, "Wow, it's a long way."
it is a long way. It is a
Yeah.
long way. And to be honest, there are some people that are so passionate that go in one group, they finish, they change clothes,
Wow.
they go to another group. This is all pre-planned, which is somewhere in the
At the
end.
back, and
They
they do it again.
continue again.
Amazing.
This is the craziness, guys. This is
Wow,
the
I've
craziness.
never heard of that.
Yeah, yeah.
I love that. And there's a lot of storytelling that goes on in Carnival. I mean, a lot is just fun, and it's people dressing as their favorite Disney character. But then there's a lot of like satire going on,
Yes.
some political jokes, some
I mean, this is an important element in Carnival, the satire. And
mm,
if you see other carnivals around the world, it is one of the core pillars of Carnival, and it should be in Carnival.
yes,
And what makes Limassol Carnival unique from other carnivals is the cantadori. Um, these people that sing, it's a choir
mm.
basically that have these amazing songs that bring back this nostalgic element. So yeah, we do have events on that one. And what makes it more magical is when they sing, they have their the whole band, the choir, and they walk around the streets of Limassol.
And there's so
And they
the
stop in
music,
different places, and people cheer to them, and
yeah.
it's amazing.
And there's also a lovely exhibition, isn't there, going on at the Carnival with Carnival history?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. We have the exhibition, and in Caramel, we also have the events going on
Hmm.
every night. So do check the events calendar, Limassol Carnival Program 2025. Um, we also had, I think today's the last day, if I'm not mistaken, in the municipal library. The Cuban artists that made some amazing paintings that portray the Limassol Carnival. So
Beautiful.
yeah,
I didn't see that one.
yeah.
So let's move on and talk about your day job. Talk about the real
Day job,
Vasilis
day job. I
underneath.
wish I was every day like this,
Ah, this is my day job
This is my day job. So,
for the moment.
for the
So
moment.
let's talk about the real you,
So,
the man behind this amazing outfit.
I'm into the tourism and hospitality industry, as you know, for many
Mm.
years. I'm a lecturer, currently in CTL Euro College. I also tour guide. I wear the traditional Cypriot outfit also, and I promote Cyprus with the Deputy Ministry of Tourism abroad whenever they want me to. I host events, so I do a number of
You've
things.
got a lot of hats on,
Uh,
not just this crazy hat. You've got many
yeah,
different,
yeah.
and you're also a TEDx speaker. So
Yes.
you
Oh,
spoke
yeah.
recently,
Yeah,
didn't you?
it
And
was
I
in
was so
summer.
gutted because
You were abroad, I
I,
think.
Yes, I think I was,
Yeah.
and we had Eleni Sava on
Yes,
Hotel Talk talking about it, and I was gutted that I missed that event, but I am coming definitely to the next one. But
it
tell
was a
us a
nice
bit about
experience.
it. I
TEDx.
heard it was just
You also
beautiful.
spoke at
Yes,
TEDx.
I
I
did.
know.
Yeah, yeah, I did in the
Was it,
Molos one.
yeah, on Molos.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
It
I
was
did.
about women empowerment? Well,
No,
or
I
it was
spoke about how it was called
the
"Why
theme.
Little People." I think yes,
Yeah,
I think the theme.
the
Sorry,
theme.
was
Yeah,
yes, it was a woman's one, but I
yeah.
spoke about yeah why how everyone is important, everyone has a purpose.
Uh,
Yeah. So yeah, and what did you
perfect.
speak about?
So I spoke about how storytelling um, in the tourism industry can either unite people or divide people.
Wow, and for
And
Cyprus, that is
yeah,
so
and I emphasize that the stories, the history, the moments that we narrate about the destination, even the myths, to the tourists, give a particular image
hmm
uh, of an image to the tourist of how the destination is,
mm.
right? But
Are we
if
doing
you
the right
are
one?
we doing the right one?
Yeah.
It's not about right and wrong, but it's about emphasizing the importance.
Mm.
So, for example, Cyprus is unfortunately um,
A
divided,
divided
right?
island, yeah.
Um, So what we say, it depends. If you're a tourist and goes into the geographic north of the island, and if you're in the geographic south of the island, you do hear two different narratives,
Very,
and
very different. Yeah.
that was part of my PhD actually, because in my PhD, I gave interviews to tour guides in the
Mm.
north and the south. I also
Wow.
listened to what they were saying in their tours,
Yeah.
and then in the historical timeline that we had, I tried to place, okay, so which era are they focusing more on? Here it's more on the Greco-Roman
Yeah.
period and Byzantine period, but in the
There's
geographic north of the island,
the
um,
Ottoman Empire must
it's
be.
the
Yeah.
Ottoman Empire and the medieval periods.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you
Interesting.
see, and yeah, I think it's
Yeah.
fascinating. It's not about
It
right or wrong.
is. I just read I've just finished actually reading the book The Island of Missing Trees.
Mm.
I don't know if you've read it.
To be honest, no.
No, no, no. Yeah, I
Okay.
mean me too. It's
Okay.
been out for over a year and I
Yeah.
was like and also I have to say that I think I was late reading it because I thought, oh, it's going to be really biased
Okay.
because being written by a Turkish Cypriot, how I'm being honest now, in my head, I just thought, well, it's going to,
Yeah.
you know, yeah, look at things from a different perspective than what we know. And I was pleasantly surprised. I was actually blown away, is more the right words. I messaged the author actually and just said a huge congrats.
Okay.
It was so beautifully written.
Mm-hmm.
And I think what struck me the most is that the ending of the book is that we are islanders. It's not about Turkish, it's not about Cypriot, it's not about North, about South.
Yeah.
People are from this island.
Yeah.
And that's what we have to concentrate on.
Yes.
And
Exactly.
it was,
Exactly.
yeah, beautifully, beautifully written. I highly
And
recommend it.
remember, I mean, for somebody to have an opinion, you have to look at the longue durée, as Fernand
Mm,
Bourdelle said, which is a historian, French historian.
yeah.
We have to look at the long history, and we have to also look from many sources.
Yeah.
Not just one source. And either it's something that was written by somebody in France or about Cyprus, or
Yeah. History is
yeah,
always biased.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's
So
always written
yeah,
by the hands of
yeah.
the victor as well, as
But for
they
me, it
say.
was about it was all about emphasizing the importance of storytelling. So
So what would you if if you were in charge and could write the story for Cyprus to
not
present it,
rewrite, not
not
rewrite.
rewrite, I didn't
So,
say rewrite, you could
so
write a story
yeah,
to show people
yeah,
who we are or
yeah.
what they should expect. What would you
That's a very big
say?
question,
I
Farah, to be
know.
honest. Oh my God, we will need another podcast for this one. Uh, so, I think I will try to bring they are already doing it, obviously. Bring the two communities. Are we talking about specific tourism within the tourism industry, like
I'd
about
say,
the tour
yeah, within
guides?
tourism, yeah.
Yeah, I will try to bring the two communities together and try to emphasize and decide both what narrative. do we want to give? Um, and yeah, I mean,
Yeah, there's
it's
a
all about
lot to look up.
selecting particular aspects of the history and decide on that one. And I mean, it is true. I mean, if both portray two different images of the island, I mean, how are you going to coexist if you want to coexist in the future, right?
Mm,
So, I mean, start by this, by collaborating and finding a common ground, and start giving the same story about who
yeah,
you believe to be
here
as an
we are.
islander, who we are.
Yeah.
Big question, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Who are we?
We stay in our carnival outfits. My master's thesis was actually on the reunification of Cyprus and
Really?
its consequences on tourism.
Okay,
Yeah.
wow. I have to read
So,
that one.
well, yeah, it was written a long time ago though, but yeah, I don't know. And at the time it was so exciting because I just felt it was quite tangible and it was something that really could happen
Yeah,
quite
yeah,
soon. But
yeah.
then 25
You
years
never
later, here
know,
we are.
Farah,
You
you
never
never
know.
know.
You never
But
know.
talking about history and going back to Carnival, I mean, Carnival is part of, you see, there's a common ground,
Absolutely.
is part of the history of Cyprus. I
Yeah.
mean, it's been going on even before the Venetian period in Cyprus. I
Imagine.
mean, what we have now is the evolution of what started many, 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 many years
Years
ago.
ago. Yeah.
So that's an
It's part
element,
of our
a common ground.
fabric.
Yeah, it is.
Absolutely.
I believe that's my opinion.
So okay, going back to carnival, you will not be able to answer this, but I'm going to ask it anyway. What's your favorite costume of the
Oh
year?
my
Like, what was your
God.
favorite group or the ones that you're like, wow,
You, what do you, the costume that I wore, or in the
the
parade?
whole parade?
Oh my God, I can't
You,
answer
you can't
that,
answer, but okay,
Farah.
but the ones that you find memorable or you like, or from previous years, like which are the ones that like attracts your eye? Obviously,
Uh,
colorful ones, I'm sure.
ah, it's difficult. That's a difficult question.
I know, huh?
I
There
need
are
a couple
some
of
very.
seconds.
I mean, every year we do see the usual. We see like the Flintstones and the mermaids and the what else do they do? Shrek was quite cute this year.
Yeah, we have Shrek.
Yeah.
Um,
Who else? I laughed. I only saw them online, but the Botox ones,
oh
that was
yeah,
hilarious.
yeah. The Botox ones are nice.
Yeah. What else was fun that I saw? Yeah.
We have Kitsch.
Yeah.
It's a group that handmade outfits. So another thing, speaking about quality, is that we are trying to promote handmade outfits, not the ready-made
Yes.
ones.
Yes.
Because the ready-made
Well,
ones,
it
to be
stimulates
honest,
the industry as
it
well.
stimulates the
It's
industry
local
and
people that make
creativity,
it.
as I said before. I
Yeah.
mean, Carnival is all about creativity. Even if you want to make, for example, a Superman outfit or a Super Mario outfit, you can make it your own. You can put some elements that differ from other outfits.
Yes, and then okay, and then from my side, which I'm massive, as you know, on sustainability, you support the local environment, the local culture, the local people. So,
Exactly.
yes, we can all order this from China, and yes, maybe it will cost less, but the carbon footprint of that is so much more. Rather than having somebody here who gets excited,
Yeah,
who feels proud that I made those costumes,
exactly.
who's a seamstress who gets busy, who for 1 month before says, I can't do any dresses, anything else. I'm just doing this, who will tailor make it, and then hopefully you get better quality. I mean, this one is made in Cyprus. This is 20 years old, I think, and I got it out of my
They last.
wardrobe.
They
Yeah,
last more than the ready-made
yeah.
outfits. Usually you wear those ones one or twice and they're
You
gone.
throw them.
I mean, as I mentioned, Christos Orthonos made this one. I have another outfit that Jackie made.
Mm.
Is a seamstress, and we designed it together. And the pride I get, she gets also.
Yeah,
When you make something, you're like, it's ours. We
yeah,
created it from scratch, from our imagination.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. It's
that's what
wonderful.
I've been saying, Farah. That is Carnival.
And I love that you diverted that question very nicely. So the King of Carnival didn't have to pick here. I love it. I love it. Um, okay. So, any previous king or queens that have inspired you? We were chatting earlier. There's so many. I mean,
All of
everyone's been
them,
fabulous.
all of them. Listen, every previous king and queen gives their own elements and their own personality comes out.
Yeah, we had
So
Demis on the podcast as well. He's
Dimis,
fabulous.
Dimis. I told you about Dimitris. We had Christiana, we had Elena, we had Monica and Maria, which were together. Uh,
Miltos years ago.
Miltos, Brionidis. We had Machalekidis. They're both husband and wife, which were the king and queen of spades or cards. I don't remember
Yes,
now.
yes.
Yes. So all of them. Sorry if I forgot someone. We have a lot,
No, no. I mean,
but
and there's so many. This is not. Yeah,
all of them, Farah, bring their own
yeah.
personalities, and
Absolutely.
this is another nice thing to
Oh,
Carnival.
I love it. I just love. I mean, I love Limassol anyway. Limassol's great.
There's
All
no place like Limassol. I always
no,
say, Farah, I've been to so many places. You know what? I mean it.
me too.
I've been living in
I know she's something you
and
brought,
ci
but
senti
it's
chi
so
bro. Ci
true.
senti Limassol, like
Yeah.
Limassol. You know, I've been I lived in Hong Kong for 5 years, right? That's where I
Wow.
did my PhD
I
and I
didn't
was
know
working
that.
also.
Yeah.
Yeah, I came back permanently in 2020, twenty
Mm.
twenty one. Yeah, yeah, a little bit before COVID. Um, Amazing experience, by the way.
Must have been.
Different culture, fantastic people,
Food amazing.
food, yeah. But I love the the Cypriot food more, to be honest.
You know what?
I'm gonna say it. I'm a typical Cypriot. Give me barbecue. I'm a barbecue type of person.
And the mezeves
And
and
then I said,
everything.
I'm a typ.
And it's
Give me,
the sea. We can't live
yeah,
without
I
the
can't
sea,
live
that
without the sea.
blue,
The
the
Mediterranean
green.
blue, the
Yeah.
Mediterranean blue.
No.
I love the Mediterranean blue. They've got fantastic sea there, but I mean the oceans.
Yeah, but we're just
Um,
used to this, I
yeah, they
think.
have the oceans there. But we're used to this one. This hue of blue.
It's so pretty,
Yeah,
really. And we're so lucky. And it's so, people don't realize how green Cyprus is. So we have the amazing contrast from this green natural foliage to this beautiful
it
deep
could be
blue.
more green, to be honest.
It
Our island, we
it
have
could
to
be, but
protect
it's
it.
hot. But I
Yeah,
mean, but
yeah.
it's very green. Like this time of year, you drive through and
Now it's
it's
green, yeah. But in
amazing. Oh
summer,
no,
yeah, yeah.
summer is another
But
story.
we need to protect also our. We have the
Definitely.
fires and all those. So
Yeah.
unfortunately,
Hmm.
but I mean, yeah. I don't know. I've been to so many places, and I always say, yeah, I like
It's
Cyprus. I don't know
amazing.
what it is about Cyprus. What do you think? What's your opinion?
I think
Farah, you've been
Cyprus.
living for so many years here. So what's your
Opinion on.
yeah?
I was actually discussing it on another episode that will be coming out soon with Alexander Eng, who moved here and started Agora Hotel.
All right.
And he's um, from Holland, but all over the place
Yeah.
actually, and living all over the place, and from everywhere in the world. Came to Cyprus cycling, fell in love with it, and I was discussing with him how interesting it is because I've not originally Cypriot, grew
Yeah.
up here, and I didn't want to move back to Lebanon. I definitely didn't want to live in the UK, and this was always my home. And so many friends were like me, and everybody came out. We even have one friend who lives in the States, but when he got married, he wanted to get married here. And his parents were like, "Why? I mean, there's everywhere in the world you could have. Why is Cyprus pulling you back?" And it really does have this magic. It has this gravitational force that brings people
Do you believe it's
to
also the
love.
climate
I think okay. I
that we
think that
have the sun? Like,
it's yes and no because a lot of places have the sun and they
okay,
don't have that pull. I mean, yes, it's amazing to have sun, have this positive energy, but I think we're also the right size. Like
not too
we're
big and not too
not too big
small.
and not too small. So I
Mm-hmm.
think you can live here. You don't feel asphyxiated in that. You're absolutely everyone, and there's nowhere else to go. You're here.
Yeah,
You're born in
and it's
Limassol. Go to Paphos
comfortable.
for the weekend.
Yeah,
You can go to Nicosia and have a completely different vibe.
go up in those
You can go
mountains.
to Troodos, you can go to Galobaniotis, you can
Yeah,
go, there's so many places and you can do so much. You can cycle, you can do sports, you can go to a beach, you can ski, you can see archaeological ruins, I mean, there's so much. And now there's so many different people living here that
yeah,
there's just this melting
yeah. We're
pot of
becoming more
more
international,
international.
especially this couple of
The
10 years.
food is nice and the culture, the people are good people there. It's just very homely. It's
Yeah.
like welcome home.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I think you're right. And some people say that okay, we're becoming more international, we're losing our identity, but you know what? No, we're just evolving, and we still keep
I think the core
our
values
the
are
core
there.
values.
Yeah.
And again, I'm gonna say it, Farah. An example is
It
Carnival,
is Carnival.
and
And
yeah,
you know what? I will say, I mean, I'll say this for all the foreigners that come here, including myself, but I would say specifically the Russians, for
yeah,
example, they come and we've got a lot in Limassol, but many of them appreciate Limassol more than we do, who've been here for so many years. They come
I
with a fresh set of eyes and they're like, wow. And Carnival, they want to dress up. They really appreciate, they want to clean the city. They invest. I
yes,
mean, so many beautiful statues on the beach walk were given to us, designed by local Cypriot
yeah,
artists, but paid for by amazing people. Anna was one of them who's been on this podcast,
yes, Anna,
and they donated and they want to give back and they want to do so much. They've done parks. They've done, I mean, just amazing
it's
things. And
true.
we're so
Uh,
grateful.
yeah,
So
it's
we
true.
shouldn't be anti, oh, look, the foreigners are coming. I mean, I feel Cypriot, but, my grandfather was very far from being
Yeah,
Cypriot and came here and did the first marina on the island. Why? Because he
true,
believed in Cyprus, because
true.
he loved it and he wanted to give back. So, we have to embrace that change, even though change is scary.
It is scary, and I'm all for it, to be honest. And you know what? It's all about, in the end of the day, management. If you manage this change correctly,
Yeah.
I think it's going to turn out really good. If you don't
Yeah.
manage it correctly, yeah, it's not going to turn
Yeah.
out good in the future.
And I mean, look at our skyline. We've got all these tall buildings now. Everyone was dubious at the beginning. Some people still are. I get it. The old Limassol was wonderful, but that wasn't sustainable. We've grown.
Yeah, I mean,
We're a lot of people now, and rather than take up all the mountains, better to go high.
it's what we're saying in theory when we're teaching classes, the destination life cycle. I mean, you start at the bottom and then you go up, you're evolving towards a destination, and then you reach a peak, right? When you reach this peak, then you have to reinvent yourself. If you don't reinvent yourself as a destination, then you're gonna go down. Why? Because we have other destinations that compete with you around you,
Yeah,
not only in prices and also in terms of facilities. So you always have to reinvent yourself so
yeah.
you keep tourists coming to you.
I love that. I
Yeah.
couldn't agree more. Embrace the change. That's what I'm doing now at the hotel with our new balconies and so much more.
Oh,
So, favorite quote. I ask everybody this. What's your
hit me.
favorite quote?
Favorite?
Favorite quote.
Oh,
Any quote or favorite book or mantra or Cypriot
I'm gonna
saying.
give you my quote
Okay.
and my how I view everything and whenever I do. Okay, this is my thing. Um, just be yourself.
Oh,
It's so easy, but I've realized that so many people can't be themselves.
no. Yeah, because they don't love themselves
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. For
and
me,
they're
whenever, yeah,
afraid.
yeah. Sometimes when I question something I do, or when I see somebody acting somehow, and I'm like, Vasilis, you know what? Just be yourself.
Just be yourself.
There's,
Yeah.
it's so simple.
So, Sim, 8 billion people in the world, and
Even in Carnival, people say, or in some videos I do, they always say, are you some kind of a persona? Is it really you? Who are
well,
you?
many of your videos are viewed and so
Yeah, and I always say, you
hugely.
guys, it's just me. I don't know. It's just me.
Yeah.
Even now that we're dressed like this, it's me.
Well, you're the only you. 8 billion people, and you're the only you. So you might as well own it and
Yeah,
live it up.
you're you. I mean,
Yeah.
but knowing who you are and believing in anything that you do,
Yeah, such an important message.
yes,
And I always say as well, just to add to that, and you're not responsible for how other people view that. So you're not, if somebody doesn't like it, you're not responsible for how they feel or how they take it or their perspective. Okay, obviously not hurting them, but you're only responsible for yourself. And if
exactly.
they don't like you being you, then,
And let's always
it's
remember, Farah,
okay.
when you're yourself, all right, and you're in a place where other people keep criticizing you or giving some negative comments, okay, maybe you're doing something wrong, but maybe are you in the wrong place? Because you might go in another place and they might really appreciate
Appreciate
you,
you.
right?
Yeah, absolutely. It's about the
Very important.
environment.
This is very important.
I love that.
And yeah, don't
So,
always compare yourself to other people.
how have you taken criticism then in your life? Because we've all been through periods where we feel we might have been criticized or
Um,
just different growing up.
mm,
How have you taken that?
you listen, then you think, okay, am I doing something wrong? And then you answer this question to yourself, and then you're thinking, no, I think I'm doing it correctly. Okay, if the answer is okay, maybe I should have done it differently. I can
Mm,
improve, and
yeah,
if you believe it, yeah, you can listen to that.
yeah,
Listen, but then always put your own,
yeah.
yeah,
Put your own stamp on
yeah.
it. I love
But
that.
never try to be. Uh, this is another question. So I always hear this question: who do you aspire to be?
Yeah,
To be honest, I've never aspired to be anyone. Why would I want to be somebody else?
yeah,
Right? You can take some elements, you can take the energy. I want that energy. I want, make it, you know, your own energy or inspire, not be the
yeah,
other person.
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah, I get asked that a lot on interviews, and I always answer the same. I'm really looking forward to being the better version of me. Like that's who I aspire
I
to be,
mean, you
like the
always
best
improve.
version of
Yeah,
me.
you always improve. I mean, I'm a totally different person from the person I was before I went to Hong Kong.
Yeah,
So
5 years ago, 10 years
yeah,
ago.
I mean, from my experiences and the people that I have met, I've changed. I mean,
Absolutely, you've
I've
grown.
realized that it whatever we do in the the West, it doesn't mean that it's correct,
Yeah.
because there's a different way of doing it in the East, for
Yeah, you've
example.
seen both.
Yeah, and then when I was there, I stopped questioning it.
Yeah.
I started saying, "Why do you do it? Why do you eat that? Why do you eat snakes? Why do you eat, for example, whatever?" And it was like, it's just what it is.
Yeah.
This is it. This is the culture. I mean, just go with it,
Yeah.
and that makes you more open, and you're not within that bubble.
Hmm. Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
just looking at things from far away.
So true. Well, I have this beautiful quote that you've also said. As the king of carnival, I can't wait to bring colour. You definitely have joy and endless fun to the streets of Limassol.
Yeah, that was one of my first before we even came with the concept there and
I
everything.
love
So there
it.
you go. I
I
hope we did.
found this one.
We're doing a good.
So what is the legacy that you'd like to leave for future generations who look back at this year's carnival and see as king?
But
What
it's all about the legacy. Legacy. Um, just the
or the
feeling.
message?
The
Yeah.
feeling. It's a feeling. I want people to remember this carnival as a feeling of o- o- of of positivity
I
and being
love that.
free and creative.
Yeah.
It's a feeling.
Yeah.
It's not about the image. It's not about me. It's about the vibe.
Yeah. Oh, thank you so much, my dear. Now, this is the last question. It's a bonus question. I don't know what you're going to get. The team at the hotel all get to write a question, and they sometimes tell us who wrote it. Let's see. This is from Mihalis Michael. What's a piece of advice you've received that stuck with you the most?
Advice that I've
Mm,
received that stuck with me the most.
tough one.
It is a really tough one,
Yeah, that's
Farah.
quite deep. Like, there's other ones that are like, what's your favorite food? But this one has gone
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Uh,
maybe from a teacher, from your mom, from your dad, friends.
um, maybe it's different advices that I've got. I mean,
Mm,
going with my parents.
yeah,
Yeah, I think that's a nice advice from my parents, and that's how I also grew up. Vasilis, just do what makes you happy.
yeah.
If you don't want to stay in Cyprus, go somewhere else. Uh,
Mm,
study and what do you want to study? Study something that will make you happy.
yeah,
That's a very good advice my parents
yeah,
gave me always.
yeah.
Do whatever makes you happy.
Which is
So I'm really
beautiful.
lucky. I'm really lucky on that
And
one.
not many parents, especially from this part of the world, would
Yeah,
do that. They'd be
yeah.
like, do something you can work in that will secure you a job, that you'll make sure you get a good income. That I've had
No,
many people
they've
on this
never said that
podcast
to
that,
me. I'm so lucky to be honest.
yeah,
And yeah, I think that's a very, yeah,
ah,
think about it now. Because actually, whatever I do, as soon as I say, you know what, whatever I'm doing now, maybe it's not making me happy anymore now. So
yeah,
maybe I need a
yeah,
change.
yeah,
So I remember before I did my PhD, I finished and then I started working, and then I was feeling, you know what? I'm not feeling it, you know? And I was like, okay, it's time to change an environment. And then went back to Asia.
Wow.
And then when I came back to Cyprus, it was because of COVID. Not that I regret it. You know, I don't make a plan. I
Mm.
never make plans. I just visualize. You know, I go with it.
Yeah.
And I remember when I came here and I did an interview at the college, and they told me, I don't remember what question they gave me. It was a question that said, how how do you see yourself? I think it was one of those questions. How do
Yeah.
you see yourself? You know what? I was really honest, and I was like, you see me. If I'm not happy, I'm gonna leave. I was blatantly honest,
Yeah.
and they were like, you know how they answered? We can see that. They actually,
We got that vibe.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
it is
Oh,
what it
it
is,
is what it is.
Farah.
Yeah, no, I agree because especially in work, I say this to all our team here, it takes up 80% of our lives.
It
So we
is.
have to be happy in it. We have to
Yes.
love it. And if we don't, then we have to tweak it or change. And I always say to my team, come and find me. We'll, we'll solve the problem if we can. And if not, it will be time for you to move on
Yeah.
and we'll help you move on.
Exactly.
You've got to then,
I'm always going to give it my all for
yeah.
up until now. Whatever I do, I'm really, really happy with everything. It's not
Mm,
like I'm a typical person.
yeah.
I go bored. I don't get bored easily.
Yeah.
When I commit to something, you know, I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
has to be something. Up until now, I've never quit on something.
Aw.
Yeah. So
Well, you're definitely doing this. I love it. I love it. I love it. Vasily, thank you so much. It's been
thank you,
amazing.
Faramo, for
Always
having me here
fabulous
in
to
your
see
hotel
you. And
talks.
I love this, the episode of the year. And don't forget, everyone, please share this or any episode that you like, whichever episode gets the most downloads in September when we finish that season. We donate €1,000 to any charity
Really?
of
Oh,
the interviewer's choice. So please share this.
I even know which if it's our. Can I say if it's our?
Yes, yes.
So if it's our charity, it's going to be for the anti-cancer. Yeah.
Amazing. So, guys, share away. Send this to as many people as you can. Save it, review it, and the money will be well spent.
Oh, see you.
Bye. Limassol Carnival. Thank you for listening, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button because it helps us more than you may realize. If you are planning on coming to visit us at St. Raphael Resort and Marina, feel free to email our reservations team quoting Hotel Talk and receive an exclusive offer just for you. We look forward to seeing you soon, hearing your feedback about our show, and producing many more interesting episodes just for you, our listener, and our valued guest in mind. Thank you so much, and take care.